Joe asked me if I would speak about what St. John's has meant to me. Only after I said I would do so, he then said I was to speak for no more than 3 to 5 minutes, which I will limit myself to, though I think it unfair for one lawyer to ask another lawyer to speak for no more than 3 to 5 minutes, regardless of the topic. St. John's has meant many things to me, for which I love it and love coming here. Perhaps foremost is that in addition to us sharing a common faith with its various beliefs and rituals, we share it together here during services, afterwards in speaking to each other, and equally importantly in many events in the parish hall. Things such as the blessing of the hounds and many other parts of the daily life and pulse of St. John's. St. John's is a very welcoming community, indeed a quickly welcoming community. I first came to St. John's in June of 1972. About 3 weeks after starting here, I received a call from someone in the parish office saying that they heard I was coming and wanted my address, spouse's name, phone number, birth dates, etc., etc., etc. After I gave all that information, she said, "Well, welcome to St. John's. We're delighted to have you. And by the way, we've scheduled you to be the lay reader this Sunday. I'll send you the materials. Bye-bye."
That's the way to do it.
That was my somewhat unexpected introduction to the welcoming nature of the church, this church. It is correct, but I think not sufficient, to say we have at St. John's a wonderful congregation. But frankly, it is more than that. It is a collection of wonderful people who happen to make up the congregation. It is too easy, as I have found, and perhaps you, to see the congregation without focusing on the people. Every week we pray for those who are sick or ill. We do it collectively, as we just did this morning. But then we do it by name, both making and letting us focus on people who are part of St. John's. Some years ago, I had a bout with cancer. After surgery and a period of recuperation in which I received cards and letters from parishioners, some of whom I did not know, probably 10 o'clockers, I was able to return to coming to St. John's. The support and encouragement I received made a tremendous difference to both Nora and me. Our son, David, was a Marine Corps pilot who served 3 tours, combat tours, in Afghanistan and Iraq. He was later killed in a training accident, serving as a naval flight instructor. The people of St. John's were an incredible source of support, love, and caring, which Nora and I feel even to this day. Tracy presided over his burial at Arlington and conducted his funeral service. There were those of the congregation who came to his funeral who did not know David, but knew he was part of St. John's. That was all they needed to know. On a lighter note, our daughter Laura was married here. The setting in the church was beautiful, as always, and the weather perfect. But more importantly, Tracy allowed not one, but both of Laurier's Welsh Terriers to participate in the service. It is another connection to St. John's which still resonates in my feelings for this church. Of course, candor requires noting, as other men at St. John's have learned, that other than bringing Laura down the aisle to the altar and paying the bills, as the father of the bride, I had no other role, and that was fine with me. You may not be able to hear him, but Joe is saying time's up. So I'll conclude. During the last 40 years at St. John's, I have been a lay reader, an usher, a vestryman, a blessing of the hounds parking lot attendant, a chair mover along with other sundry tasks. However, the thing I love most about St. John's is being part of a faith community in which the members care about each other and demonstrate that caring in so many ways.
Amen.